back again to share with you wonderful things that we can find from nature. You know, our Lord and Master Jesus Christ, when he came, he told us that he would give us all things for our good. And that thing is what I have found in natural health care. And I praise the Lord for the opportunity to share again. Now, this is a time for us to talk about something that is not really water, but at least we still use water for it. And first off is the use of poultices. We have different things that we can use for poultices, but I'm going to begin one by one and just share a few. The things that we can use to help us to relieve pain, to pull out poison from the body, to help make circulation in a particular area in the body to become more effective so that healing can happen. So the first one I would like to talk about is charcoal. Two French scientists, one after the other, different time in history, different years, they tested the efficacy of charcoal, and then they called it the black gold. Charcoal is just charred wood. It's easy to make charcoal if you have a little bit of time, and that time is just to take some charred wood, cut very well in order to char it to become charcoal, then dig a little place in the earth, like 4 inches deep, 2 inches wide, which is 2 square, and 4 inches deep, and place this wood that you have cut very well into maybe 4 or 6 inches, place inside that hole, light it. Don't do it with kerosene, because when you are bringing out the charcoal, you don't want kerosene to be in the charred wood. So what you do is just get it burning very well, then cover with earth. But before you put earth, because if you only put earth, then the soil is likely to fall inside. So what you do is cover it with a tin. Roofing sheet, old roofing sheet is good. Place on the fire. What happens? The fire will go out, but not entirely. There will still be smoke coming out of the hole. Cover that hole, or as many holes as are bringing in smoke, with good amount of soil. And then leave it for a day or two. When you come back, any charred wood that you can cut with your hand is charcoal. Then you can grind it very well. Put it in clay pot, heat it very well again, don't let it burn. You have to be careful. Or in an oven, electric oven, gas oven, heat it very well. Thereby you sterilize it and you do a little bit of activation to it. Then you grind very well and store in a tight lid container. Charcoal does not have expiry date. It will be there for you to use continuously. And there are other things that we can use for poultices, but charcoal is one very important one, and that's the one I will demonstrate at this time. But before I do that demonstration, I would like to share a few things that we can also use for poultices. Now, these are very strong items. You're familiar with ginger. Who doesn't know ginger? Good old ginger. Wonderful. It can also be used as poultice. And then, of course, we have the accompanying garlic and onion too. Onions too are very good, that can be used as poultices. So, without much ado, let's look at what we can use today to demonstrate the use of some of these items that I have selected that we can use as poultices. So, I'm going to have my sister help with the demonstration. This is Sister Yinka, and she will help me to see indeed how we can place these poultices on the human body to help us see exactly how to do it so that we can have the best result. All right, my dear sister, let's have it going. Now, if you sit on the center table here, just move to this place so that your feet will not go too far. It's a good massage table, it's very strong. And then I'll have you lie down with your head on the pillow. All right. So you can rest your arm here for comfort, and on this one too for comfort. Just maintain that. Now I just cover your feet before I go to the sole of your foot. I'll demonstrate how to mix it first before we'll go on to actually pasting it on the body. So just to keep her well covered here. And then I'll mix the charcoal so that we can see how we do it. Some people ask the question, how do you mix charcoal? Oh, it's black. Oh, it's this, it's that. But it's a very wonderful thing that we can use. Okay, now we want to mix charcoal. We have a cup. A glass cup is very good because I recommend using hot water. When you mix charcoal with hot water, it's even more effective. And we have charcoal that is well powdered. They call it pulverized charcoal. So we have spoon. For an adult, you know, we can use charcoal internally for some things like dysentery, upset stomach, indigestion. All gastrointestinal problems can be effectively helped with charcoal, and that will be for internal use. So if it were to be for internal use, I'll just pour about 1 cup of water into this cup. This cup is about 1.5 cups. Mix it thoroughly and then drink. And after drinking this in 1 cup, add more water to the cup and drink. If a person has ingested poison from food, he will need a lot more than the one that is taking an empty stomach. So when we have food problems or poisoning, have the person take a lot more, 2 or 3 times of this amount. Children can take charcoal. Babies can take charcoal. All we need to do is to mix very well and make sure it is well powdered, and filter it with a cloth, like a very clean handkerchief. Then we can give even babies charcoal. It will help to bring all of the toxin in the body pass into the feces. Charcoal is an adsorbent, and once it grabs the poison, it will not release it until it takes it out of the body with the feces. Now, we want to see how we can do poultices, especially. When we do poultices with the charcoal, we can mix something that may help to make it thick, and so it does not dry out very easily. Ground flaxseed. But you know what? For us in West Africa or in Africa or thereabouts, flaxseed is a little bit expensive. Therefore, we can use cornstarch. Cornstarch will do the work as well. We mix the cornstarch in hot water like we are making pap, and then it is that hot water that we add to the charcoal to make a paste. Now, when we are making a paste for charcoal, for things like insect bites, there are some serious poisonous spider out there, scorpion, even snake bite, or any bruises around the body, on the skin. But if it has cut the skin, do not apply charcoal directly on the skin. It will just make a permanent tattoo. So we don't want charcoal where there is opening and there is bleeding. There are other things that can be done for that. But to get poison out of the body, charcoal is a very, very wonderful thing. So hot water is very good, preferably. We want to add just enough water, and make sure you just pour the water against the cup so that you don't spill charcoal all over the place. And preferably, if you have a tray, mix it on a tray so that you have your charcoal. If by chance it spills, it will not spill on your bed sheets or on your tablecloth or on other things that will make it or become difficult to wash out the charcoal. So we have charcoal. If we use hot water, it mixes more easily. We are able to mix it easily. So we mix it thoroughly until we get a paste. If it's too liquidy, then we add more charcoal. If it's not wet enough, then we add more water. So we have charcoal. Now, what I have done here is a little bit too thin. So what do? I add a little bit more charcoal to make it a little thicker than what I have here. This part is very important, and that's why all the effort to do this, so that it can be seen very well and we don't have guesses. Now, we can get charcoal in different forms. We can get it as tablets. We can get charcoal in capsule. We can get charcoal in liquid form. But the powdered form is very good because then you can use it as poultice, and you can also use it to wash the mouth for bad odor, for whitening of the teeth. Charcoal is a wonderful remedy for all of these things. So we have our charcoal mixed very well. At this point in time, I think I have a good mix. It's not too liquid and it's not too thick. If it's just too thin, then I will go ahead and add more charcoal to make it thick. But now, what you want to look for is the consistency of toothpaste or thick pap. That's what we want. But if you make it a little too liquid, then we'll still be able to use it. But then it must not run off the paper towel. There are different things that you can use to make the poultice, that is to put the poultice on before application. I have an extra tray here, so I can use this. We can use strips of bedsheet, old bedsheet materials, properly washed. In case of emergency, you don't have any other thing, tear off a cotton material and use it. Preferably white color is good, or light blue, but not dark colored that will, first of all, take the charcoal and you don't see what is going on. But ideally, the best one to use is this paper towel. This paper towel is the type that you buy to wipe dishes, to wipe the hand, but it is not toilet tissue. Toilet tissue is too thin, but this is just good enough for a poultice. So we have our poultice paper and we have the charcoal. So what we do, if it's thicker than this, fine, but at least for this purpose, it's fine. You'll find that once you pour it into the paper, put it in the center, right there in the center of the paper, because there is a reason for that, why you put the paste in the center of the paper. There is a way to fold it that makes it very efficient. You fold the top over it, the other side on top of it, and then the two remaining sides over this place. And there you have your poultice well packed. Now, my sister's arm right here, she just had an insect bite. If I like, and if it's appropriate, supposing there is any dirt there, I can clean it very quickly with a tissue paper or a wet cloth. I just clean it off, and then I take my poultice, and this is the way to apply. This thin side is the one that you apply on the skin. That part goes directly on the skin. You see, this part is doubled. Now, to avoid the charcoal getting dry very quickly, what do? I take a piece of bread wrap, plastic, waterproof, some people call it nylon. I have it just to cover the area that I have my charcoal on, and then I place it over it. This way the charcoal will not dry out quickly, and also it keeps the warmth inside. So I need something to hold it down. I can use several things. I can use a strip of cloth like this, wrap it around and hold it down. I can use a bandage to wrap around. I can simply take a plaster and hold it down. Whatever is available, whatever is convenient. But then, if I want it to stay there, supposing the person is going to bed at night, I want to use something that will stay steady and stay on the arm for quite some time. So I wrap it in a band-aid like this. Now, if you have serious bites, you will need to change it every 10 minutes. As it is pulling out the poison, you are mixing another charcoal and you are pasting it on it. Now, if you don't get cornstarch, if you don't get flaxseed, mix the charcoal just as I have done, and then place it on the bite. It will begin to relieve the problems very quickly. Pull out the poison from the blood. Charcoal is very, very effective. Now, if we don't have this, we can also use a safety pin to hold the bandage down, just to be sure that it does not come off very easily. But this is doing a good job right here. So that is how to apply charcoal poultice. Now, before my time runs out, as time knows how to run very, very quickly, I want to just say one thing too about how to use pieces that are available. Now, there are many plants that can also be used as poultice that will help to get rid of poison and heal problems in the skin. For instance, if we have burns, aloe vera is a wonderful herb poultice for burns. We should all grow aloe vera at home. Then we talk about chest infections, bronchitis, other problems, cough, catarrh, and all those type of problems that will make the chest uncomfortable, and especially for a child, coughing and coughing and coughing at night and will not allow anybody to sleep. There are some things we can do, and for adults too. There are some very wonderful things we can do, and that lies in the area of these wonderful products, kitchen food, like ginger and garlic. And garlic is what I just want to talk about at this time before my time is all gone. So I'm talking about chest congestion, and I'm talking about, oh, I cannot give this person garlic. For some reason, the person will not tolerate eating garlic very easily. Therefore, there is one thing I can do with garlic, not be able to take garlic by mouth for some reason. Several reasons can be there why a person may not be able to take garlic by mouth. Some people just cannot stand the smell, for instance. Therefore, it will be good to use one very wonderful method to get garlic into the system so that one can still enjoy the benefits of this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful gift, as that's the way I see it, wonderful gifts from God. So I take a few cloves of garlic, or onions too. Onions will do the same thing. This would be wonderful. Even if I cut an onion lengthwise and I paste it or even put it beside the bedside, it begins to do the wonders that God has put into this product. So a pestle and mortar, I just go ahead and just smash the garlic. Sometimes garlic are dry, like this one that I'm trying to smash. Just cut it into small pieces, smash it down, make it available. So we wash the sole of the feet. Take one of my sister's feet. You know, some people, they tickle very easily. So when you are working with a person's feet, especially the bare sole of the foot, that's the name. When you are working with the sole of somebody's foot, be careful how you touch it so that the person does not tickle, because that tickling can just send all my table things away. And sometimes we ask our clients, when you are working with people, do you tickle easily, you ask? And some people say, yes, don't touch the sole of my feet. And then we know that we have to be very, very careful. But my sister, it does not tickle easily, so I have smashed garlic. Now, I can do one or two things. First of all, I have a good sole of the foot cleaner. I just go ahead and scrub the bottom of the feet very, 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 very firmly. Take a dry cloth or paper towel. I wipe it very well, wipe up all the dirt out of the feet, and it's ready for application of garlic. Do you know that when you take garlic and apply to the sole of the foot, before you know it, the person will smell it, will have the breath in the nose. So we have the garlic all smashed, and even if it's not all smashed, we take garlic and just rub it into the sole of the feet, and you'll see how wonderful. You know, when we do massage, we are able to get into some areas of the feet that helps to get the sensation, as they call them, trigger points in some instances, and then they have the derivative way of going deep into particular organs that are connected to every part of the feet. So we rub down the entire sole of the feet. Another thing that can be rubbed on the entire sole of the foot are things like pepper, cayenne pepper. If a person is feeling very cold or sick, these are things that can be applied to the sole of the feet. When we want to use garlic on any other area but the sole of the feet, the garlic needs to be heated up. So we need to cut the garlic, put some water, put it in a frying pan, and then heat it up for about 5 minutes before applying to any other part of the body, especially the chest. Please do not take raw garlic and put directly on the skin if it is not the sole of the foot. It will burn the skin very easily. If we are going to apply garlic, onions directly on the chest, we need to cut it up, put it in a frying pan, put a little bit of water, let it stay on that fire for about 5 minutes. Then pack it out, wrap it in a paper towel like this, or in an handkerchief, in a paper towel like the one I use for the charcoal poultices, or in a towel bedsheet material, put it inside and put on the chest. Wow, this is an effective treatment for any congestion, infection that has affected the lungs. You will see the person will start coughing out the mucus, yellow mucus, strong cough will follow, and then they are able to cough off all of this out of the chest. And what relief will come? Wonderful relief. Now, don't forget that once you do this and you start having relief, or the person starts sweating, make sure that you wipe the face with cool water so that there will be no complications of headache from the body trying to get the things out of the body. Now, this is where we are going to pause at this time, and I'm going to ask that whenever we finish with salt treatment, we wipe the place off very well. Now, for everything that we do to help individuals get well, there is a power beyond us, and that blessing comes from Him. So we must never forget to commit the person, family members that we are using all of these things for, friends or whoever, to the hands of the Lord. Therefore, I would like to pray before rounding up today, to ask the blessing of the Lord to you who will be blessed by this, to anyone that you probably will share with, so that these blessings will continue. Therefore, pray with me before we go. Our dear Father in heaven, we are so grateful for your goodness, for your love, and for your care. We praise you, we worship you. You are a loving Father. Bless these simple treatments that you have given us, that we may do it to the glory and honor of your name at all times, and to the relief of everyone that will receive this treatment. This is our prayer, for we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.